Hello, and welcome back to Roligt Reviews, the show where we look at shit and tell if it's cool or not. I'm your host, Jackson Dalton, and today we're looking at the end of Evangelion. Now, I just want to preface this by saying two things. The first thing, spoilers are abound, so get away. Seriously. I'm usually the type of person who doesn't really care about spoilers, but you really have to watch Evangelion and the end of Evangelion. Seriously, go watch it. And the other thing, you need to have watched the original Evangelion series to understand the end of Evangelion, because it's sort of the finale of the entire series. Think Ed, Edd and Eddy big picture movie, except it's more depressing than your dad's drinking problem. So I am going to be referencing the original Evangelion series a lot without actually talking about it. So, yeah. The end of Evangelion starts with our boy Shinji trying to wake up a comatose Asuka. Asuka doesn't wake up and... Oh, I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going. Shinji channels his inner Pee Wee Herman.
This is crack rock cocaine.
Yeah, let's just move on. Anyways, as you may know, in the original series, Nerve is trying to start their Human Instrumentality Project. Now, what is the Human Instrumentality Project? Well, what they plan to do is they plan to take all the souls of each person on the world and turn them into one being. You see, everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. And in theory, somebody's weaknesses can be overturned by another person's strengths, therefore meaning that if everybody came together as one being, that being would have no flaws. Anyways, an all-out attack is sent to Nerve to try to stop the Human Instrumentality Project. Basically, what they're trying to do is they're trying to take away the Evas, because the Evas are needed to start the Human Instrumentality Project. Anyways, as a bit of a last resort, they send out all of their mass-produced Evas to fight against Asuka and her Unit 2. Asuka fights all of the Unit 2s without a hitch, but her battery runs out, and all of the mass-produced Evas start moving again. All of the mass-produced Evas feast on Unit 2, with Asuka still inside. Asuka is killed. Shinji is sent out in his Unit 1, and after realizing this, he has a mental breakdown. Then, Rei Ayanami, who if you don't know, has some bits and pieces from Lilith, combines with Adam, which if you don't remember is the big dude on the cross. They fuse, and Rei becomes a god of sorts. Now, this is where kind of the mindfuck, but also the beauty of Evangelion, end of Evangelion, comes in. The Unit 1, which is technically a giant human, so it has the power of knowledge like a human, fuses with this god, who of course has the power of life because it's God, and basically becomes the Tree of Life, which is an entity that is equivalent to God. Rei can grant Shinji one wish. And what does Shinji wish for? He wishes for everybody to be dead, and for the Human Instrumentality Project to continue. Nobody loved Shinji. Nobody cared for Shinji. Therefore, he thinks everybody should die. But after realizing his mistakes, he decides to completely stop that. And the world has completely changed. Our final scene is Shinji waking up in a completely barren, changed world next to Asuka. In a fit of rage, he strangles Asuka. And for our final line for the Evangelion series, Asuka says, "How disgusting."
Time for some Evangelion fun facts.
Fun fact, did you know that the final line for Evangelion was not scripted? Hideki Anno, the director of the series, basically asked the voice actors, what would you do if somebody broke into your house and masturbated to you? And they said, "How disgusting." No, but in all seriousness, the end of Evangelion truly is a masterpiece. It and the original Evangelion series question things that man has been studying forever, like life, science, philosophy. And even though everybody in the entire series is dead, the final scene truly is beautiful. It's an absolute animation marvel that something like that could be created by hand. The main thing about End of Evangelion is that it kind of exists to kind of correct some of the thoughts that Hideki Anno had while creating the original Evangelion series. The original message of Neon Genesis Evangelion was to live for yourself and no others. But the end of Evangelion is there to correct that. The end of Evangelion's message, at least in my eyes, is that yes, you can live for yourself, but you should also respect other people's needs and desires. Let's look at Shinji, for example. Nobody loved him, nobody cared for him, not even his father. And that's how he became the selfish, abhorrent character that we see in End of Evangelion. And because of that, Shinji also becomes selfish, and that's what basically causes the third impact. Let's also look at some of the lyrics for the last song in End of Evangelion, Come Susser Todd.
I thought that I could live for no one else, but now, through all the hurt and pain, it's time for me to respect the ones you love me more than anything.
In conclusion, while Evangelion and the End of Evangelion has religious imagery and super awesome giant robot fights, those are just kind of facades, masks, to the actual personal message of the series. At least that's my take on it. The entire Evangelion series is very vague, and Hideki Anno has said that he wants people to make their own judgment of the series.